Good morning dear students, welcome to Purnachandra Higher Secondary School. Okay, so in this session, in this video lecture, we are moving to the next chapter. Okay, in the previous we have completed our chapter, that is motion in a straight line. Clear? And then in the motion in a straight line, in the previous videos I have completed all this with respect up to that how we will derive the kinematic equations. Okay, the three kinematic equations, these things we have already discussed in our previous session or in previous video lecture. Okay, so now in this video lecture we are discussing about the laws of motion. Okay, we were moving into the laws of motion of part 1 in the next video, part 2 in the next video, part 3. So in the section wise video we have completed the chapter. So first of all, before moving into the laws of motion, okay, we have to know what is the concept of force. Clear? What is the concept of force? Because so let us discuss about what is force. So now what happens? Suppose I am throwing a stone into the sky, or a bus is moving, or a cycle is moving, and I want to stop the cycle. What I have to do? Let us think. What I have to do? If I want to stop the cycle, then I have to put the brake. Very simple. Okay, number 1. Number 2, if I want to throw the ball or throw the stone into the sky, then I have to apply some external factor on it. Clear? Okay, that means everything around us which is in motion, okay, so or the motion object to rest. Clear? If an object is in rest, so to move the object, or if an object is in motion, to stop or to put the object at rest, we have to apply some external agent or external factor. Okay, so that external factor or the external agent is nothing but your force. Clear? Okay, so force is nothing but a external factor or external agent which helps the object, the rest object, to move or in motion, okay, or the motional object coming to rest. Clear? Now another thing can come to our mind. Just the force, whatever the external agent is applied to that object which is at rest or in uniform motion, can the force is a contact force, or can the force is a non-contact force? Is a very important factor. Okay, so now there are some forces which are contact forces, and there are also some factors or forces which are non-contact forces. That is called field forces. Okay, so let us discuss about the contact forces. Contact forces means, just give the example that suppose a bicycle is moving and I want to stop the bicycle. So for that, what I will do? Now I have to put the brake. So if I have to put the brake, then I have make a contact with that bicycle. Very simple. Okay, so that type of force which I applied on that bicycle, that type of force is a contact force. Very simple. Without contact I cannot stop it. Clear? But there are also some forces which are non-contact in nature, such as gravitational force. Suppose an object is moving towards the ground, then is there any force contact with it? No. So that type of forces is called field forces. These are non-contact forces. So to move the object, the rest object in motion, or the motional object to rest, okay, external factor can be in contact with it, or external factor cannot be in contact with it. But in both the cases, whatever the external factor is there, the external factor or external agent is known as force. Clear? So the forces can be your two types. One is contact forces, which I have to or touch it, or the force have to apply it by touching it. That is called contact forces. But there are some forces which have to, you should not, the force cannot be contact with it, such as magnetic force, such as electrostatic force, such as gravitational force. Okay, so these are the examples of non-contact forces. Clear all of you? So that is the main concept of force. That is, force is nothing but an external agent which helps the body or the object, if it is at rest, to put the rest object in motion. If it is in motion, then it is required to put it to stop. Clear all of you? Okay, so this is the concept of your force. This is the basic concept of your force. Clear? Understood all of you? Contact forces and non-contact forces or field forces. Clear? Okay, so now with this concept, now let us move into our important part of laws of motion. The first laws of motion, let us discuss Newton's first law of motion. Let us discuss Newton's first law of motion. As all of you know, there are three laws which Newtons have discussed in the previously, described previously or experimented previously. Newton's first law, Newton's second law and Newton's third law. Okay, so among these three we have first discussed about the Newton's first law of motion. What is the significance of the law? What is that law? What is the statement of the law? Let us discuss. Okay, so Newton's first law of motion. First of all, important point is that the concept or the definition of force we will get from this Newton's first law of motion. First point. Okay, now let us know about the statement. So what is the statement? What is the statement of Newton's first law? Now, without applying an external agent, your external force, without application of your external force on a body, okay, if the body is at rest, it becomes rest. If the body is in motion, then it will continue the motion with uniform velocity. Again I will repeat. What is the statement of Newton's first law? Newton's first law states that without application of an external force, a rest object becomes at rest. A motional object continues its motion with uniform velocity. This is the statement of your Newton's first law of motion. Clear? Understood all of you? This is the statement. So let us discuss or describe about the statement. Okay, so what the statement describes, now that we describe there, suppose a object is there, very simple. Okay, so if the object is at rest, it is not in motion. If the object is at rest and there is no force applied on it, then the object remains at rest. It will not move. It will not move if there is no external force applied on it. Okay, but if we will apply some external force or external agent on it, then it will move and come into this position. Again I will repeat, without application of a force, if the object is at rest, then it remains at rest. It will not move. Okay, but if the object continue or in motion, if the object is in motion, then it will continue its motion with uniform velocity. Understood? Or constant velocity. Clear all of you? Understood all of you? Okay, so that means if there is no force, then it will at rest. And if the force is applied here, then the object is moving and come to this position. Understood all of you? Okay, so this is my Newton's first law of motion. And another very important part, this Newton's first law is otherwise called law of inertia. Okay, again I'll repeat, Newton's first law is otherwise called law of inertia. Clear? So let us discuss about law of inertia, or what is inertia. Let us discuss what is inertia. So inertia, suppose a object is moving or his object is at rest. A object is moving or a object is at rest. Now, if the object is at rest, if we will not apply any force on it, can the object move by itself? No. Simply no. Similarly, if the object is in motion, then without application any force, if the motional object, can it be at rest? Can it will come to at rest by itself? No. Clear all of you? Okay, so that means this inability, remember, this inability of a material or of a object, okay, to change its state either from rest to motion or motion to rest, this inability of the object or body is known as your inertia. Clear all of you? Okay, so inertia is nothing but the property of a body or object by virtue of which it opposes or resists the change of state. It will resist or oppose the change of state. This is very important. So the oppose or resist of change of state. Change of state means if it is at rest, it will not move. If it is in motion, it will not come to rest by itself. That property or that inability of the object is known as inertia. Clear all of you? So inertia is very much depend upon the mass of the object. Clear? The mass of the object or the body measure the inertia. Listen very carefully. The mass of the object measure the inertia of the object. How? Let us discuss. So inertia actually, let us take an example. Suppose we are sitting in a bus, okay, and the bus is at rest, and I am sitting in it, in the chair or in the seat, and suddenly the bus starts. Then what happens? We are somehow jerked back. Why? What is the reason behind it? Or what is the reason behind the jerk in the backward direction? If the bus starts suddenly from rest to motion, the reason is the inertia. Because when the bus starts suddenly, then from our body part, the lower part of our body is moving along the bus, whereas the upper part of our body could not respond it. It remains at rest. So that's why the lower part of the body is moving with the bus, and we will feel or we will get a backward jerk. That type of inertia is called inertia of motion. That type of inertia is called inertia of motion. Clear? So first is your inertia of motion. So inertia of motion. Understood? So we can take also another example. Suppose a person jumping from a running bus. What happens? Can you tell me what happens? If a person jumping from a running bus, then the person will fall down in the front. Why? What is the reason behind it? Because when the person jumps from the moving bus, then the lower part of the body, when it will reach to the ground, it will at rest. Whereas the upper part of the body continue to move with the bus. That's why when a person jumps from a moving bus, okay, then it will fall suddenly, or it will have a frontward jerk. Clear? Okay. So to avoid from this, when a person jump from a running bus, it will move, or the person must move with the bus to some distance, running with some distance, so that it will avoid the motion of inertia. Clear? Another example you can take, just suppose a bus is moving in the straight direction, and suddenly the bus driver applies the brake. Then what happens? The passenger sitting inside it, they will feel a frontward jerk. Frontward jerk. Why? Same reason. Because the lower part of the body stops with the bus, whereas the upper part of the body continues or opposes the motion. That is called inertia of motion. All these things, all these phenomena, what I have just given the example, all these things, reason behind is your inertia. So inertia is nothing but the resist. It will resist or oppose the change of state. Okay, so change of state means from rest to motion or to motion to rest. Clear? Now, another example or another type of inertia, that is your inertia of direction. Inertia of direction. Clear? One is inertia of motion, another one is inertia of direction. Inertia of direction, I can take an example. Okay. Suppose a bus, again I will take the same example. Suppose we are moving in a bus, the passenger inside it. Okay, we are moving in a straight path, suddenly there is a curve. There is a turn, sharp turn. When the bus driver suddenly turn it, then what happens? The person is moving one side, okay, moving to other side of the curve. Why? The reason is same. The reason is due to the inertia of direction. Because bus is continue to move in the straight direction, but suddenly it will have a turn. When it will have a turn, the upper part of the body oppose the state. That's why it will move by side or towards the window. It will move towards the window. If it will move a left side car, it will have if it is a right side car, they are moving to the other side. Clear? So this is due to the inertia of direction. Understood all of you? Okay. So these laws of inertia, the first law, Newton's first law of motion, first point gives the definition of force. The force is nothing but external agent will help the object or the body from rest towards the motion or from motion towards the rest. And it is nothing but the law of inertia. Galileo discovered it. So Galileo, your law of, that is Galileo law of inertia. So inertia two types, inertia of motion, inertia of direction. Just I give the examples. Clear all of you? So this is the Newton's first law of motion. It only gives the definition of motion. It will not give the magnitude or amount of force applied. It will not give or it will not define what is the magnitude or amount of force applied. This is a very important point. It only gives the definition part. Newton's first law. Then come to the, okay, so after that let us discuss about momentum. Let us discuss about momentum, or we can call it as a linear momentum. Better we call it as a linear momentum. Okay, so let us discuss about momentum. How the momentum. Suppose a body, listen very carefully. Suppose a body having mass m, okay, moving with a velocity v. The object is in motion, having a mass m. This is the object which is having a mass m and which is moving with a velocity v. Clear? Then what is the expression of your linear momentum of that body? Now the expression of linear momentum is denoted as P. Okay, so momentum P is equal to the product of the mass of the object, the mass of the body, and the velocity of the body. Clear? So again I will repeat, if an object or body M, mass M, moving with the velocity V, okay, then the amount of momentum or the momentum related or associated with that body becomes the product of mass and the velocity. So P is equal to mv. Clear all of you? And this linear momentum is a vector quantity. Listen very carefully. The linear momentum is a vector quantity. It is having a magnitude, also a direction. Clear? And you can also find out the dimensional formula. How you can find out the dimensional formula? M is the mass. M is for mass. So dimensional formula becomes m1. Then velocity. Velocity dimension formula all of you know. Okay, that is your L1 t to the power minus 1. So that means if I will combine it, then the dimensional formula of momentum becomes m1 L1 t to the power minus 1. This is the dimensional formula of momentum. Momentum is a vector quantity. Clear? Momentum is a vector quantity and it is a very important significance on the object. Suppose I can take an example. Suppose a bicycle is moving, a car is moving. Listen very carefully. Suppose a bicycle is moving, a car is moving. Both are moving with same velocity. Listen very carefully. Suppose a bicycle is moving towards us, a car is moving towards us, and both are moving towards us with same velocity. Okay, then there is a question arise, which will harm us more and why? It's a very important question. And all of you know obviously the car will harm us more. When the car will hit us and the bicycle will hit us, from these two, though they will move with a with the same velocity, but the car will hits us, it will have more damage to us. The reason behind is that due to the mass. Listen very carefully, due to the mass, because the mass of the car is more than the mass of the bicycle. So that's why the momentum of the car becomes more. The momentum of car becomes more, okay, than that of bicycle. It's a very important example you can take. So the momentum gives a very important significance in case of moving object. Clear all of you? Understood? Okay. So this is your linear momentum. This is the some of the your discussion about the linear momentum. Clear? Okay. So with this small concept of linear momentum, now let us discuss about the second law of motion. Newton's second law of motion. Newton's second law of motion. Clear? Newton's second law of motion. So now as we know that Newton's first law will not give the magnitude of the force applied on an object. It will only define the force, very simply. Okay? But whereas Newton's second law gives us both. Okay? It must gives us the definition, so also it will gives us the amount of force applied on an object. So let us first discuss about the statement of the Newton's second law of motion. So what is the statement? Now the statement is that the time rate of change of momentum, the time rate of change of momentum of a body is equal to the resultant force applied on that body or act on that body, and that change must happen in the direction of the force. Clear? So again I will repeat what the Newton's second law states, that the Newton's second law states that the time rate of change of linear momentum on a body or of a body is equal to the resultant force acted or applied on that body or object, and that change will happen or will occur in the direction of the force only. Clear? So this is the statement. Let us discuss about the mathematical part. So what? That means the force, okay, is nothing but the external force is nothing but the time rate of change of, so time rate of change of linear momentum, very simply. So F is equal to dp divided by dt, that is change of momentum with respect to time. So that's why time rate of change of linear momentum. Clear? So that implies, so F is equal to, now d by dt, all of you know what is linear momentum, just I have discussed. Linear momentum is equal to mass into velocity. So let us put mass into velocity here. Clear, all of you? So if you want to put the vectors, you can put it. Clear? So now very important point is that if for this case the mass of the object becomes constant, it will not vary. Suppose I will take the mass of the object becomes constant, then if it is if m is equal to constant, fixed, okay, then I can take the m outside, so that is nothing but a dv divided by dt. Clear? So what is rate of change of velocity? I have discussed in the motion in a straight line. What is rate of change of velocity? So rate of change of velocity is nothing but your acceleration. So dv by dt is equal to your acceleration of that object or of that body. So what I will get? I will get a very interesting and important relation, that is F is equal to mass into acceleration of the object. This is a very important point. Clear? So that means if I will discuss that point, then what I will discuss, if on an object there is no external force applied on it, then the object is at rest. If it is at rest, it is at rest. And if the object is in motion, then it will continue. The motion with uniform velocity. So if the velocity is uniform, the velocity is constant, then what is the acceleration? It becomes zero. Very simple. Okay, so V is constant, so A becomes zero. Clear of you? Okay, so in most of the cases, the velocity becomes constant, accelerations becomes zero. Clear? So F is equal to mass into acceleration. Very important concept. F is equal to mass into acceleration. So it will give, now the second law give that what is the amount of force or what is the magnitude of force applied on that object or a body which is having a mass m. Clear, all of you? Okay, this is a very important part. So Newton's second law gives us the amount or the magnitude of force. If I will have the magnitude, then you can write, so F magnitude is equal to mass into acceleration magnitude. Very simple. Okay, simply I can write F is equal to ma. F is equal to mass into acceleration. Very simple. F is equal to mass into acceleration. Clear? Understood, all of you? That is the mass of the object, the mass of the body, and the acceleration related to the object. Clear? All of you clear? So this is now Newton's second law. Okay. Now, with this Newton's second law, here there is a very small but important concept, that is what is mass and weight. Let us, very small but important concept, what is mass and weight. Listen very carefully, one by one I have to, don't confuse. Mass of a body is fixed. Mass of a body is nothing but the quantity of the material present in a body. Listen very carefully. Mass is nothing but the quantity of the material present in that body gives me the mass of the body. The quantity of the material. Okay, and the quantity of the material or the mass of the body or object will not vary from position or from location to location. It becomes fixed. This is mass. Clear? Okay. So mass is nothing but the quantity of material present inside a body. Clear, all of you? Okay, and it will not vary from location to location. If I will take the body to earth from here to moon from earth, okay, then the mass becomes fixed. It will not change. Clear? But when it come to weight, okay, come to weight. So weight is nothing but what the earth, or weight is the force. Weight is nothing but the force, okay, which the earth attracts towards us. Very simple. So I can write F is equal to mass into G. That is called weight. That is not the force. That is the attraction, the force of attraction with which the earth pulls an object. So weight is a force. Clear? Weight is nothing but a force. So don't confuse to this mass and weight. So weight is nothing but a force. Okay. So this is the product of the mass of the object or body, and G is the acceleration due to gravity. So F is equal to mg is nothing but the weight of the body. The weight of the body varied from location to location. In the earth also, if we will take a object or a body from equator to pole, then there is some slightly change in the weight. Similarly, if we take the object from earth to moon, it will also vary. So it will location to location, the weight may vary, but the mass remains fixed, because mass gives us the quantity of material, but weight is nothing but the force with which the earth attracts an object or a body. Clear? Okay. So this is the small concept about the mass and weight. In the next class, we are discussing about the third law and the rest part of the laws of motion. Okay, and a very important thing I want to tell my students, that from the motion in a straight line part, from my side, whatever the problems I will solve in a paper and I will share with you in the WhatsApp. So don't worry about that one. Don't about the problem part. Just go through my video. If the concept is not clear to you or is not understood you, then you can ask me anytime. Clear, all of you students? So thank you so much. Have a good day.